Good morning, everyone. I wanted to give you a full rundown of why I started doing content creation and why I started getting into the business entrepreneurship field. I guess to kick this off, I do not know how to, or I didn't know how to fully compile all of these ideas together. So to explain them, I created like just a little funnel system for me to make it easier for me to explain, all these goals and ideas that are stacked up on top of each other. So I created this. I just named it. It's big, little, smallest. So we start with the biggest long-term goal of like 5 to 10 years, and then we shrink it down to like the next 2 to 3 years, and then we shrink that down to like the next 6 months or the next, couple of weeks, something like that. So to start with the biggest tier, why did I start this whole process? Why did I start this whole journey? Honestly, about a year ago, I started watching a lot of TikTok videos, YouTube videos of like people traveling the world, going out, having fun. And it just seems so cool to me how people can just, go travel whenever they want to, or own these expensive ass mansions or expensive ass houses and cars. And it's just the luxury life was like calling to me. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to live my life if it's not, like fully luxury. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll still live it, but I mean, like, I'm gonna try my hardest to get to that status level. And I don't really care about other people looking at me and being like, oh, he got this cool car, he got this cool, house, he got a really nice family, girlfriend. I don't really care about other people saying that. I just more care about like myself and how I will feel, when I've reached that type of level, I guess, while also enjoying the process. So that's the big goal. I really want, financial freedom, time freedom. Basically every Gen Z, every young kid wants, every young adult is aiming for. So I believe that there are three things that are kind of holding you back, or three keys basically to unlock, that type of freedom, that peace, that nobility, right? There's money, there is time, and there's peace, like with yourself. So for money, for example, like the first big hurdle you have to overcome is you're not worrying about the next meal you're going to eat. You're not worrying about the next check that's going to come in to pay your bills. You're not living check to check every day, trying to wait and see how your bank's looking. You can't buy those $200 pairs of shoes because you don't have a lot of money right now. Like stuff like that. You can't buy, a peanut butter sandwich because, you don't got it right now. That type of thing. I believe in, if you can create a system or money where it just keeps coming in, or you have a certain amount of capital where the amount that you're spending isn't as much as you have, basically. And so there's a certain level that comes with that. It's like right now I'm 16. I work a $12 an hour job. I make $100 after 8 hours a day, right? And even after, when I get my checks, I I don't have a lot of money to be spending on like a $200 pairs of shoes that look really nice or that feel comfortable. So I have to go with the cheaper option, go to Old Navy and get like some sandals or some knockoff sneakers or something like that to pay for myself or to sustain that. And honestly, I do not want to live my life, having to worry about those type of expenses, having to worry about those type of um, lifestyle changes. Um, the next one is time. So again, in my example, I work a 12-hour shift. Oh, I'm sorry. I get paid 12 hours an hour, dollars an hour. I work an 8-hour shift every day, well, close to every day, and I make $100 a day. The fact that I have to put in 8 hours on a timesheet, 8 hours of my life out of my day to only make $100 is not worth it for me. And it's really like, is my time as valuable than $100, or is it more valuable than $100? So I started to think that, and I was like, okay, how much would my time be worth then? How much money would I want to make if I'm putting in 8 hours each day, you know? So then I started to pivot my mindset from, oh, $8, you know, $12 is a good amount of money for, you know, an hour getting some money. I started to look at it more of, how can I create more value in a less amount of time and still get that type of like have that be a cash flow consistently. So I started to look into businesses. A lot of businesses do that. So that's kind of where I started my idea. But I realized that along this journey, along this financial freedom goal, at the end of it, I always see myself picturing me like in some random country with a long beard, and I'm a farmer, you know. I got the corn, I got the dirt sweat all over me. I got the overalls. I'm set, right? But I'm like that because not only am I at peace with myself, but I am also stable with money. I'm comfortable. You know, I don't have to worry about the next check. I can pay for whatever. I can do whatever I want, you know? And, you know, I'll have my beautiful wife, my kids, you know, with me. And I can see that vision so clearly because I know at that time period of my life that I would be at peace with myself. So I believe that these three principles kind of combine together. When you start to make a lot of money, you stop worrying about money, right? When you start to make a lot of money, you start taking back a lot more of your time. And when you take a lot back of your time, you get to spend that time, you know, learning yourself, learning new skills, mastering your mind, your body, your emotional level, everything, while also using that, you know, towards your family or whatever goal you may have that is not money related or that is not time related. So I believe all of these connect to one fulfilling life, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, so I took those core ideas and I started to, you know, look up like ways to do this, ways to get there, how to do that, what to do that. And I want to let you know that it is possible to do that somewhat with, you know, like the traditional degree jobs like nursing, lawyer, engineer. They make high paying salaries, like at least 100,000 to maybe 500,000 a year. And that's great. Like that is great. That's a stable job. You're always going to have that money coming in. That's like what, maybe 12K to 20K a month. I might be wrong on that. I can't do quick math, but that's the amount. That's the salary you're getting. But I realized that I don't want to do that. I don't think I want a consistent capped limit of like 500,000 a year or 200,000 a year. I don't think I want that. I think I want to make as much money as you know I'm willing to or that I can. And even if that means like a few months or a little like a couple $1,000s short, that's okay. Because I know consistently in a year I'm making a lot more. I feel like I'm kind of explaining this a little weird. But so I started to think about that, and what I landed on was business and entrepreneurship. So, for example, like I've seen so many personal brands and so many products being sold and fitness coaches and all of those type of things happening on social media. And, you know, a lot of AI generated stuff, a lot of websites. If you're able to price value at a high amount with a high volume of audience that actually like that type of content will buy that from you. It's like product in demand, or I'm sorry, the other one. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, so that's one way. Um, I like that idea of building an audience and drawing people in, and I don't know, seeing where the wind takes me, I guess. So I landed on business entrepreneurship. The two main businesses that I am currently invested in or currently I want to do, because I'm 16. In 2 years I'll be 18. So I really wanted to try junk removal, but I realized that with junk removal I would need a truck and I would need a license, and those are both things that I do not have right now. So instead of doing junk removal immediately, I'm deciding to save up that money. I'm saving up $30,000 to not only buy the truck, but to also have a cushion fund just in case I buy the truck and, for example, like the engine is fucked up, it don't work, or the tires are flat, or the brakes are flat, something like that. Then I would use that cushion fund and I'd put it back into the truck. So I'd reinvest that into it, so I won't be out of a truck if I just buy one, if that makes sense. And I guess that is a good amount of money to start up the junk removal business and really connect with people and pay for ads, for example, or anything like that. But I realized that the job I have now, I cannot make that type of money in the type of time that I'm giving myself. I'm giving myself until 18 to reach $30,000. So one way that I decided to do that was to go even smaller than junk removal and go down to headlight restoration. So basically what headlight restoration is you take vehicle headlights that are oxidized, the clear coat is peeling off, or there's super cloudy, kind of dirty headlights on the vehicles, and you would sand that down to about a 3,000 grit layer, and then you start polishing and applying more UV coating and clear coat on it. That gives the headlights an extra boost, not only in visibility but also in style. So you'll be set, really. So it's a very niche, small target audience business where you can charge from $60 to $150, which is it's low ticket. It's extremely low ticket job, but I don't know. I like it. I personally enjoy it. I just got done, with the job just now, so it's nice. I like it. Yeah, so I decided to do headlight restoration, not only to pay for or save up $30,000, but to also learn and understand how to do business, how to run a business, how to start a business, how to bring in clients, how to sell to clients, how to basically just do all the numbers and stuff like that, bookkeeping, etc. I believe that if I can manage to do this on a smaller scale and understand the skills that I'm learning, understand what it is I'm actually doing about owning this small niche business, that those skills will then be transferable to junk removal once I save that money, once I save that, those skills and time into that. Where am I at? I wrote this down because I don't always know what to say. Compound. Anyway, so I wanted to do that to learn real world skills versus like just kind of thinking about the idea of doing it, posting content, like stuff like that. Like I need to actually learn by doing. I need to learn by making mistakes, by failing, by investing, making the wrong deal a couple times, maybe 1,000 times, whatever it needs. But I learn best when it's in the process versus just like calculating it in my head, because you never get anywhere if it's just in your head. And I understand that fact, so I am applying that to real world scenarios and trying to get some community engagement. Um, yeah, I guess that is pretty much it as of right now. For future goals, I do want to go to Tertiary College of Business, which is a college where you go to 7 different countries around the world. You you do a lot of business activities. Let's just say that you create a business, you start scaling that business, you start selling products that business. You have to make 25,000 to I think 50,000 dollars in revenue in the first 4 months of being in a country. I can be wrong. I don't know all the details, but I just know that's something that caught my eye and something I want to do. Um, and yeah, so I guess this is the first video, and I just want to come on here and explain what exactly I was doing and why I was doing it. Peace.